This podcast is brought to you by the Disabled But Not Really Foundation, a local Kansas City nonprofit organization that pushes to instill a physical limitless mindset that breeds courage, confidence, and competence within the disabled community. You can follow and support Disabled But Not Really on social media or go visit their website at disabledbutnotreally.org. Their work and their mission is to really impact communities and make more people understand the benefits of inclusivity.
Happy Sunday, day after Valentine's Day, which I hope you all were able to express some love to yourself and to others that you chose to express love with. It is I, April Jackson with Open Up Pittsburgh, and I'm so excited to be here with you this month. Wes had a family situation that he had to attend to. And it just came up, and you know how things go, so I'm going to hold down the fort with you all. And I figured it would be a good time when I'll just bring up a few things that are happening in our world and also make a concerted effort to bring us into a space where we can ground ourselves and feel some peace. So if you're okay with that, stick around. And even if you're like, I don't know, please stick around. We love for you to watch this. And I just want to share with everyone, some of you might be watching this later on YouTube, or I think it even lives evergreen on LinkedIn and Facebook. And we have a podcast. So the podcast is literally these episodes. I don't know if transcribed is the right word, but downloaded into an MP4. And it's Sunday Safe Spaces. It's on Spotify, Apple, I think iHeart, and just wherever you listen to your podcast, we're pretty much going to be there. So we appreciate your support as we go into 2025. And this is our 4th year. So Wes and I were thinking of, it's Black History Month. And despite the attack on DEI, it's still Black History Month, and it always has been Black History Month. And well, not always, there's a history behind it. It started out as, it wasn't Langston Hughes. I'm trying to recall who presented it, but it started off as Black History Week, and it evolved into Black History Month. And we're so thankful for those before us who wanted to acknowledge the work that we've done as African Americans. So happy Black History Month. I already told you Happy Love Day. And, it's still focused around love and couples and whatnot, but it has evolved as well. Like I saw so many Galentine events on my social media. I saw a lot of people having the day for themselves, resting and doing a spa treatment in the house, and treating themselves to self-love and self-care. It was very inspiring. I almost bought my bouquet of flowers and put here so it would be on the screen, but I was like, April, you're doing a bit too much. And then we weren't going to sidestep around the turmoil that's happening. Some of you watching, maybe a lot of you watching or listening, are your jobs are in jeopardy. Some of you have already lost your jobs. Eggs cost $10 a dozen, and literally they cost $10 a dozen. I was very grateful because a friend of mine, a neighbor of a friend of mine who I happen to know, has chickens. So she got me a dozen eggs. I was like, you just saved me $10. So I hope you're navigating through this season with as little stress as possible. And I don't know how possible that is. I know some people just don't watch the news, which is fair, and they didn't watch it before. But right now, it might be a really challenging time to watch every day what's happening with our federal government, with the White House. And I'm not bringing politics into this conversation. It's just a lot of transition. And I suffice it to say, there's a lot of turmoil. So today, probably in about 5 minutes or so, we're going to do a practice, a meditation and a deep breathing practice to help soothe our nerves. And I think it's really important that I say this. I was writing an article for one of our newsletters, an internal newsletter for our board and our staff. And every month I write something around practices that we can all do. And I was thinking, mindfulness is a practice and a tool to support you in the present moment. And I know how challenging it can be to do a mindfulness practice when you're in the throes of being sick, in pain. And that could be physical pain, emotional pain, the stress of watching the news and not knowing what's going to happen. But being able to stay present is very helpful. And I'm laughing because I was at a doctor's appointment. And I was like, but I want to get off medicine and I want to get off the pain medication and I want this and I want that. And the doctor was like, stop. She probably had to tell me like 3 or 4 times. My girlfriend who took me, she's like, she had to tell you a few times to stop. I was like projecting the future into the present and thinking about the past. And it's not a denial of where I was or where I am or what I want, but it wasn't moving me forward in the here and now. So when we have this practice together of deep breathing and a little meditation, I offer that to you. We're going to work to try to clear our mind of thoughts that would bring us stress. Like, this whole thing happens. We're going to bring it down a bit and really try to be present. So yesterday, we're here in Pittsburgh. It snowed so beautifully in the morning time. Like on that weather app, it was like, it's going to snow from 9 to 11. It snowed, or I don't know. I think it snowed from like 6, 7 a.m. It was about 6 a.m. all the way to the afternoon. And they were like those big, juicy, fluffy snowflakes. And I was in my bed. And when I opened my side window curtain, I could see the backyard, the side of the backyard. And when I was lotioning my hands. So I offer that to you, like maybe just taking one hand and massaging the other hand. My hands are super dry. I don't know where you are, but lotioning your hands and massaging your own hands, really, really helpful. And I literally stared at the snow for about 45 minutes. No phone, no TV, no music. It was just me in the snow. And I did not intentionally, I intentionally kept staring at it, but I wasn't like, I'm going to wake up and massage my hands and stare at the snow. It was very organic. And that was the most relaxing thing. So I offered in the newsletter, there's a practice of gazing. It's a meditative practice. 2 summers ago, I would do it outside because it was warm. It's not warm now. And you just sit and put your hands on your body, on your lap or on your heart. And you try to find a posture that supports your body, makes you feel like a little, not like a little supported, lifting up if possible, or stretching out. And I would just stare at the grass. And that was pretty cool. So I haven't done that in a while. And the gazing at the snow was wonderful. So it's raining here. You could gaze at the rain. I know on the West Coast, it had been raining really hard. I think it stopped. But just, give yourself something to focus on, a candle, a lit candle, because that can really take your mind off of any thoughts that are possibly stressing you out. Also, I didn't mention our hearts and our souls and our bodies, physically for some, not physically for others, are with the fire victims in California. Personally, one of my best friends lost their house. They were told at 4 to evacuate. And by afternoon, I got a text saying the house is gone. And that's not the only person. Broke my heart. So they're alive. The whole family's alive. They're safe. But let's lift each other up and keep each other lifted in whatever practice you have, be it you praying, you're sending vibes, whatever it is. Let's support each other as a community, because I think that's really what's going to get us through all of this. And Wes isn't here, so I could talk about the Super Bowl. Man, the Eagles whipped some booty, and I probably wouldn't even be able to say this. Kansas City did so bad. He was like, April, you're being funny, whatever. But it was good to see some joy. And personally, I liked Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. And I know some people were like, it was okay. But everybody said, well, I don't know if I should say it, but I thought it was a commentary on America, African-American culture. I thought Serena Williams killed it. I'm from Los Angeles, so I felt very proud that a cultural practice that we've done forever was celebrated, whereas when she did a little bit of it in Wimbledon, they tore her down. But also I felt it was just good to have a moment for everyone to just celebrate something, because it's been real hard. All right. So with that being said, everybody get up and crop walk. No, I'm joking. I'm joking, everyone. Let's come together. I also want to offer, if you know somebody, or if you want to come on, if you want to share, please do. We've reached out to 2024 guests, and we have some coming back. We're going to be talking about caregiving again, this time with Sharice Nance and a mother who's a caregiver. We had Shamaria on as a nurse, and she said she's going to come back on. We'll probably have a guest on with her to talk about, health disparities, and hopefully, and we have Gina Weinstead. We meet with her in March, and that's going to be really good because, all of them are going to be really good. But for her in particular, she is the VP of DEI. I think I got that right, of Carnegie Museums here in Pittsburgh. And it's an important topic to dive into. And I think, regardless of how you feel about it, it's good to venture into that. And our community, we center around those with disabilities. I say those with disability, those of us with disabilities. And it's important to know where we stand, where we are, what kind of support we have from our country. And this is a part of community. So I think it's really good. All right, hydrate. And let's spend the next 10 minutes just practicing being present. I'm sitting in a chair. I have a lot of pillows behind me for support. So again, I offer that to you to find your support. If you feel so inclined, if you have the ability to close your eyes, you're welcome to do that. If you don't have that ability, or if you choose not to do it, leave them open. We I've been teaching for a very long time, 20 plus years, 25 plus years. And back in the day when I got my yoga certification, I was very hardcore, like sit up straight, shoulders back, deep breaths, close your eyes. Like, this is the way to do these things. I was very into posture because I grew up as a ballet dancer. And so postural alignment was real important to me. And it took me a while to realize people have their own way of being in their own practice. And the physical abilities of all of us varies. And there are a lot of things I used to could do that I am unable to do right now. And it doesn't make me any less or any more as a yoga practitioner. So if you're laying down, lay down. You're sitting up, sit up. Whatever posture works for you. Sit on the floor, sit on a poof, sit in the chair, sit in the bed, lay in the bed, lay on the floor. I just offer a minute for you to find space. I have some soft music playing in the background, really soft jazz. I'm going to leave it on. If you're like, I want to do that too, or not jazz, but whatever, go ahead. One day, I was telling, we have somebody at our studio, Ania, who does sound bowls. And I'm like, oh, one day I'm going to get her on to do sound bowls with us. All right, so I hope you have found your space. And I'm going to offer a minute to just breathe. Not intentionally taking deep breaths or anything. Just breathe and see if you can hear your breath or feel where your breath is coming in and out. And see if you can hear the rhythm of your breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. Find the cadence of it. Now, I offer a practice of you breathing more intentionally. So we'll start with the nose and inhale in deeply and then exhale, if you like, by having the mouth open. When you inhale, I suggest that you try to see if you could expand your rib cage and expand your abdomen. And then just, now I'm giving you my practice, my cadence. Inhaling in and exhaling out. But find your rhythm. Bringing it in through the nose, feel the coolness of the top lip. And just let it out of the mouth. I'm going to suggest 5 more breaths if possible. Wherever you are, 2 more breaths. And now, if you would like to take your hands, maybe put them on your chest. You could feel the rise of your chest as you breathe in. And I suggest not isolating the breath to just the chest, but you could put a hand on the belly and chest. You could put both hands on the belly. We're just really finding a space to ground ourselves within our own body. And this helps with the tactile sensation. Like how often are we touched? Now, I know mamas, you probably are touched a lot, and daddies. um, but sometimes, like I'm almost empty nesting. I have a partner, but we don't live together. I mean, even when you have a partner, sometimes we don't touch. So learning how to like just touch yourself can really help you also with a somatic practice, help you feel into your body and help you listen to the body. So I'm gonna have one hand on my chest and one hand on my belly. I offer you breathing in and out of the nose, but we did the mouth exhaling, that exhalation, and that is a great option. And let's be present with that. I'll give it a minute or two. All right. So we're going to breathe into the nose. I hope you were able to see my hand rise and my hand on my belly stuck out too. And then exhale out. Inhaling into the belly and then the chest. And release. I'm going to go ahead and relax my eyelids. You choose how you want to find your facial features and your body posture. Three more breaths. Now with this last breath, I offer that you continue to breathe, and I'm going to talk us through a little meditation, or more like a progressive relaxation. So continue to breathe at your pace, and starting with the crown of your head, the very top of your head, just release any tension. And I know you're like, how do you release tension at the top of your head? Just see what happens when you think about it. Relax the eyelids. It doesn't mean the eyes have to be closed, but I hope you can feel a relaxation in your face. The corners of your eyebrows kind of fall towards the floor. Softening your cheeks and your jaws. Letting your tongue kind of just feel relaxed and loose. And you can maybe just lighten up on the deep breathing and just breathe naturally. Relaxing the jaws and the neck. And the shoulders. I would say the majority of us hold tension in the shoulders. So imagine the shoulders just falling. The chest often gets tight for some of us. So as you breathe in, just relax your chest. And you don't have to like put your shoulders back and stick your chest out. That's actually a postural stance that, in the military, they're like, chest up, shoulders back. That can get you into fight or flight. So find a natural space for your chest to be in and just take a deep breath into it. And then around the belly, just breathe in deep if you can. And that's only based on your criteria, what's deep for you. But the belly button can stick out if possible when you breathe in, and the belly button can sink down towards the spine when you breathe out. You relax your hips, whether seated or laying down. Feel a softness in your glutes, your hips. And let that softness radiate all the way down your legs to your toes. If there's space, if there's filling, if you desire to do so, and if you can. We can move our hands, maybe wiggle the fingers, rotate the wrists. And that can help us bring our awareness back to where we are. I want to thank you for giving this space to that practice. It was very helpful for me. Really helped to distract my mind from thinking in the future and being present, taking my mind off of some other things. I hope this practice helped you or supported you in some way. So, again, we extend our hearts to our world community. There's a lot of turmoil in the world. And as human beings, we're resilient. And I know resiliency is looked at in a positive way, and I don't take away from that. But sometimes when we're resilient, we neglect ourselves. So I offer that you support yourself. You take care of yourself. This little practice we just did is self-care. And then as a community, we will move forward, and we have moved forward. We've made it this far. And through all of this, not saying there won't be turmoil and pain, but there'll be moments of joy, moments of success. We don't know what the future holds. We're trying to forecast it, but we will be here. Wes and I both will be here. Sunday Safe Spaces is a space we want to be safe for us all. So thank you for this time. We look forward to seeing you in March. Newsletter will be out this week. And still practice love. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us and listening to the podcast. If you would like more information on the guests and the stories that you've heard today, and to hear stories from others, subscribe to the podcast. We also invite you to subscribe to Open Up Pittsburgh's newsletter, as well as our YouTube channel. We want you all to take care, and remember to make your own stories. This is April. Peace.